You think you're done. You've barely started, and I'm about to prove it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, stop scrolling. This is your moment. To every second you wait, your dreams slip away. New video just dropped with David Goggins, and it's the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Tap and go. Standing, feel the energy, and unleash the giant within. You think you've reached your limit. Your chest is burning, your legs feel like concrete, and your mind screams for you to stop. Everything inside you is demanding that you quit, because it feels like you have nothing left to give. Standing. But what you don't realize is that this is just the doorway to your real potential. You've been running on the easy fuel, the part of your energy and strength that requires little effort to tap into. Now you've hit the wall, standing. But beyond that wall lies the deepest reserves you've never accessed. Most people stop at this point because it's uncomfortable. But that's exactly why this is where greatness begins. You're standing at the edge of who you've been and who you could become. And the only way forward is through the pain you're feeling right now. The barrier you face isn't your body failing. It's your mind protecting you from growth. And when the voice in your head starts telling you that you can't go further, it's not the truth. It's a test. Your brain is hardwired to keep you safe, to stop you from pushing too far. But safe doesn't make you stronger. You're capable of far more than you've ever experienced. But you'll never know that if you stop when you're tired. The people who find out what they're truly made of are the ones who keep moving even when everything says it's over. They don't listen to the panic, the exhaustion, or the fear of failure. Instead, they lean into it, push past it, and discover that there's an entirely new level of performance waiting on the other side. It's like unlocking a hidden reserve tank. You don't see it until you need it, and you can't access it without first emptying yourself completely. Every time you hit that wall and push beyond it, you're rewriting the limits of your capability. It's not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. You're training yourself to understand that the first sign of discomfort is not a signal to quit, but a signal to dig deeper. The more you do this, the more you realize that limits are not permanent. They're flexible boundaries you can push further with each effort. And the moment you experience that breakthrough once, it changes you forever. You'll never be able to go back to believing you were only capable of the small, safe version of yourself. You'll remember that you have more, always more to give. That memory will push you in every challenge afterward, because you'll know you've done it before and you can do it again. Standing. This is where the real work begins. Most people think the grind is about showing up every day and doing the same thing over and over. But the real grind is when your body says, no more, and you respond with, watch me. It's when you feel like you've got nothing left, yet you still take one more step, lift one more weight, or give one more rep. That's where transformation happens, not in the comfort of easy success, but in the heat of relentless effort. Standing. And it's not about being superhuman. It's about refusing to believe the lie that you've reached your limit. Every step past that mental barrier is a victory over the weaker version of yourself. Standing. And each of those victories stacks on top of the last until you've built someone unrecognizable from who you were before. Think about every time you stopped before you had to. The workouts you cut short. The opportunities you didn't chase because you felt unprepared. The conversations you avoided because they scared you. Those moments weren't the end of your ability. They were the edge of your comfort zone. And if you had just taken one more step, one more chance, standing, you would have found the growth you've been searching for. The truth is, greatness doesn't live inside the safe boundaries you've built for yourself. It lives in the uncomfortable unknown just beyond them. Every time you choose to step into that space, you're building courage, grit, and resilience. That's the kind of strength you can't fake. The kind that's forged in the moments you could have stopped but didn't. You have to reframe the moment you want to quit. Instead of seeing it as a sign of weakness, See it as an invitation to prove your strength. The burning lungs, the trembling hands, the racing heart. These are all signs you're doing something that matters. They mean you're pushing into uncharted territory, and that's exactly where breakthroughs are made. If you only ever operate in the range where you're comfortable, you'll never find the next level. Comfort is a cage, and you can decorate it all you want, but it will never let you fly. To break free, 10, you have to embrace the struggle as a signal that you're finally in the right place. The place where limits get shattered. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Standing. Your body will adapt to whatever you consistently demand from it, but your mind will fight you every step of the way. It will tell you stories about why you can't keep going. Standing, why you should just rest, why this isn't worth it. But you have to recognize those stories for what they are: excuses. They're not facts. They're just the brain's way of trying to protect you from discomfort. And if you give in to them, you'll never find out what you're capable of. Standing. The moment you realize you can choose to ignore those lies and keep going anyway, you unlock a power most people never experience. Standing, that's when you step into the rare air of those who don't stop when it's hard. They stop when it's done. When you push past what you thought was your limit, something incredible happens. You gain proof that you are stronger than you ever believed. And that proof becomes fuel. Fuel that carries you through the next challenge. And the one after that. You start to crave that edge because you know that's where the real change lies. You no longer fear the struggle. You chase it because you understand it's the price of becoming who you're meant to be. And every time you reach that edge and step over it, you expand your capacity until one day, standing, the things that used to feel impossible become your new normal. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary, one step past the point where they wanted to quit. This is why you can't trust the feeling of being done. That feeling shows up long before you've given everything. It's not the truth. It's a checkpoint. And if you stop there, you'll never know what's waiting beyond it. But if you keep going, if you push one more time when it feels like you have nothing left, you'll find reserves of strength you never imagined. That's the moment that changes everything, because it's the proof that you've been holding back all along. And once you've seen that truth, you can't unsee it. You'll know, without question, that you've got more in you, and that knowledge will change the way you face every challenge for the rest of your life. And pain is often misunderstood. People run from it, hide from it, or try to numb it as quickly as possible. But pain is not your enemy. It is the most honest feedback you will ever receive. It's the signal that you're alive, that you're in the arena, and that you're doing something that matters. Comfort, on the other hand, is a silent thief. It doesn't warn you when it's taking from you. Standing, and it doesn't challenge you to grow. It just lulls you into a life where you never have to test yourself, never have to see what's truly possible. Pain forces you to confront your limits and decide whether you'll accept them or push past them. Comfort lets you stay exactly where you are, convincing you that staying still is safer, when in reality it's slowly erasing your potential. When you feel pain, standing, it's your body and mind telling you you're in the middle of a transformation. It means you're pushing into territory you haven't mastered yet, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally. Every time you face it, you have a choice: retreat to what you know or keep going into the unknown. Standing. The unknown is scary because you can't predict the outcome, but that's where growth happens. Pain is the toll you pay to cross into that space. People who run from pain are unknowingly running from their own evolution. Every great breakthrough, every moment of personal strength is born from enduring discomfort and refusing to let it stop you. Comfort will never give you that. It can't. Comfort is static, but pain is motion, and motion is life. Comfort disguises itself as kindness. It tells you, take it easy, you've done enough. And at first it feels good to listen. You rest a little more, standing. Avoid the hard conversations. Skip the challenges that make you nervous. But slowly, the edges of your potential start to fade. You stop asking for more from yourself. Standing, you stop taking risks. You stop growing. Pain, however, doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't let you off the hook. It demands that you pay attention. Standing demands that you step up, demands that you become stronger than you were yesterday. That's why it's a better teacher than comfort will ever be. It forces you to face the reality of where you are and where you need to go without sugarcoating a single thing. It's easy to hate pain in the moment because it doesn't feel good. Your body aches, your mind races, your heart feels heavy. But if you can shift your perspective, you'll see it for what it really is. Proof of progress. Think back to any moment you're proud of. I guarantee there was struggle in it. Whether it was learning a new skill, fighting for your health, or building something from the ground up, pain was there. It was the companion that walked alongside you, standing, making sure you earned what you achieved. Comfort might give you temporary relief, but it will never give you lasting pride. Pain shapes you into someone who can carry heavier loads, handle bigger challenges, and live with greater purpose. The truth is, pain is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't care who you are, where you come from, or what you've accomplished before. It shows up for everyone, and it asks the same question. Will you keep going? The way you answer that question determines who you become. Some people see pain as a stop sign, a reason to quit, and they retreat into the familiar. Others see it as a green light, a sign they're on the right track, and they push forward, standing. That choice to stop or to continue is what separates the people who grow from the people who stay the same. Pain gives you that choice every single time, and it's the only thing that can reveal your true capacity. Comfort is addictive because it feels safe. You know exactly what to expect. There's no risk of failure and no fear of embarrassment, no uncertainty. But there's also no victory in it. There's no transformation, no story worth telling, no deep sense of pride. Pain, in contrast, standing, is unpredictable. You don't know how long it will last or how intense it will get, but you do know this. If you endure it, you'll come out stronger. And it's the price of admission to a life where you actually get to see what you're capable of. And the irony is, once you've learned to embrace it, pain becomes less of an enemy and more of an ally. It becomes the compass that points you toward growth. You can't avoid pain forever. Standing, because life will deliver it to you whether you seek it or not. Standing, the difference is that if you face it on your terms, in the pursuit of something meaningful, it works for you instead of against you. You control the narrative. You decide what that pain will build in you. But if you spend your life avoiding it, you'll be unprepared when it comes. And it will come. Loss, failure, standing, disappointment. They're all forms of pain. The question isn't whether you'll experience them, but whether you'll be ready when they arrive. Standing. The only way to be ready is to train yourself to face discomfort now, before life forces it upon you. Pain is honest because it doesn't let you hide. Standing. It exposes your weaknesses, your fears, your insecurities. That can feel brutal, but it's the first step toward real strength. Standing. You can't improve something you won't acknowledge, and pain makes sure you acknowledge it. Comfort, on the other hand, will let you pretend everything is fine even when it's not. Standing. It will keep you distracted with small pleasures, so you don't notice the bigger problems growing in the background. Pain doesn't allow that. It forces you to deal with what's real, to confront what's holding you back, and to do the work to change it. That's why those who embrace pain become unstoppable. They're willing to face the truth. The moments you remember most in life are the ones you had to fight for. Standing. They're the ones where you doubted yourself, where you wanted to stop, where you weren't sure you could finish, but you did anyway. Standing. Pain was the common thread in all of them. It was there to test you, to break you down so you could rebuild stronger. Comfort will never give you those moments. It will give you peace, but not pride. It will give you ease, but not excellence. If you want to live a life that means something, you have to stop treating pain like the villain and start seeing it as the proof that you're on the path to something greater. Motivation is exciting when it's there. It's the fire in your chest, the adrenaline that makes you feel like you can conquer anything. But it's fleeting. It's here today and gone tomorrow. Changing with your mood, the weather, or the smallest setback. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll only act when it's convenient, and convenience never builds greatness. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, stressed, or unmotivated. Discipline is showing up because you said you would, not because you feel like it. It's the quiet, unglamorous commitment to doing the work regardless of the circumstances. Standing. That's why discipline will take you places motivation never can, because it works in the dark, unseen when no one's clapping for you. When you rely on discipline, you take control of your future. You stop waiting for the perfect mood or the perfect timing. You stop depending on random bursts of energy to get things done. Instead, standing, you create momentum through consistency, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. The truth is, anyone can work hard when they're inspired. That's easy. But very few people can work hard when they're bored, frustrated, or exhausted. That's where discipline separates you from the rest. It turns effort into habit, and habit into results. You stop negotiating with yourself and you start executing on your commitments. And in time, those daily, disciplined actions stack into something so powerful that people think it's talent. But it's not. It's just discipline. Discipline isn't glamorous. Standing. There's no cheering crowd for showing up on a rainy morning to train. No applause for staying up late to finish a project when everyone else is asleep. There's no headline for choosing the healthy meal when the easy choice is right in front of you. But that's what makes it so rare. It's not about recognition. It's about self-respect. Every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, you build trust with yourself. That trust becomes a foundation you can stand on no matter what life throws at you. Motivation may get you started, but it's discipline that carries you through. When the excitement fades and the grind begins, there's a dangerous myth that success comes from feeling inspired all the time. Standing. It doesn't. Success comes from doing the things you don't want to do over and over again until they become second nature. It comes from showing up even when the excuses are louder than the reasons to keep going. Motivation can be crushed by a bad day, but discipline doesn't care about bad days. It pushes you to do what needs to be done because you've already decided the standard you hold yourself to. And that decision isn't negotiable. That's the power of discipline. It removes the question of whether you'll act and replaces it with the certainty that you will. Discipline is a muscle. Standing, and like any muscle, it has to be trained. You can't expect to have it if you've never practiced it. It starts with small choices. Waking up when your alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze, keeping promises to yourself, even when no one's watching, standing, finishing what you start no matter how long it takes. Over time, those small acts build the strength to tackle bigger challenges. Standing, you stop being a prisoner of your feelings and start being the master of your actions. And when life throws obstacles in your way, discipline is what allows you to adapt. Standing, push forward, and stay the course while others fall away. The truth about motivation is that it's unreliable. It's like the weather, unpredictable, constantly changing, and completely outside your control. If you wait for it to be sunny before you work, you'll waste most of your life waiting. Discipline is different. It's like the sun rising. It happens every day, no matter what. You don't have to wonder if it will show up. You know it will. Standing. Because it's a choice you make over and over until it becomes who you are. That's the kind of consistency that builds unshakable confidence. Standing. Because you know you can count on yourself to show up no matter how you feel. There will be days when the last thing you want to do is keep going. Days when your mind is tired, your body is heavy, and the excuses feel justified. This is when discipline becomes your greatest ally. It reminds you that your feelings are temporary, but your commitments are not. It forces you to see beyond the moment and focus on the bigger picture. Discipline says, do it now. Understanding, thank yourself later. And when you push through on those days, you gain something far more valuable than a completed task. You gain the proof that you can rely on yourself, standing, even in the toughest moments. Discipline also frees you from the constant mental battle of decision making. When you've decided in advance that you're going to do something no matter what, you remove the emotional debate. You don't have to ask yourself if you're in the mood, if the timing is right, or if you feel ready. You just do it. That's liberating because it eliminates the mental drain of weighing options every day. Instead, you reserve your energy for the work itself. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline answers, standing. It doesn't matter. And that simple shift is the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. What most people miss is that discipline actually creates more freedom, not less. It might feel restrictive at first to commit to certain actions every day, but over time, standing, that structure becomes the foundation for everything you want to do. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your moods and circumstances. With it, you're in control. You know where you're going and how you're going to get there. And nothing, not boredom, not fear, not fatigue, can knock you off course for long. Standing. It's the invisible force that keeps you moving forward. When motivation has long since disappeared, life has a way of convincing you that you're done long before you actually are. Standing. A setback hits, the weight feels too heavy, or the goal feels too far away, and suddenly quitting seems like the most logical option. But the truth is, the moment you feel finished is rarely the moment you truly are. Most people stop not because they've reached their limit, standing, but because they've reached the point where continuing feels unbearable. Yet it's in that exact place, when everything in you wants to give up, that the real victory is waiting. The final whistle doesn't come from the challenges you face. It comes from the choice you make. You are the one who decides whether the fight is over or whether you're going to stand up and keep swinging, standing. Every failure you faced has tried to tell you the same story, that you're not good enough, strong enough, or capable enough to keep going. That story is powerful, standing, but it's not the truth. The truth is that you've survived every hard day you've had so far. You've been knocked down, disappointed, and tested, but you're still here. Standing. That's proof that you have more fight in you than you think. The world doesn't get to decide when you're finished. The critics don't get to decide. Even your own fear doesn't get to decide. The only person with that power is you. And as long as you keep choosing to move forward, your story is still being written. Standing, the fight is never about the opponent in front of you. It's about the one inside you. The part of you that wants comfort over challenge, ease over effort, standing, and safety over growth. That part will try to talk you into giving up long before you've given everything you have. And if you listen to it, standing, you'll stop before you see what's on the other side of this struggle. But if you ignore it, if you keep moving when it would be easier to stop, you'll find that you're capable of far more than you imagined. Every time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the voice that wants you to stop. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is working. You'll try and fail. Standing, try and fail again, until the repetition starts to wear you down. In those moments, it's tempting to believe that quitting will give you relief, standing. But that relief is temporary. The regret will last much longer. You'll always wonder what could have happened if you had taken one more step, one more swing, one more try. Standing. Quitting gives you certainty, but it's the certainty of staying exactly where you are. Pushing forward keeps the possibility alive. Standing. And possibility is worth every ounce of effort it takes to keep moving toward it. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control whether you keep going. Life will throw unexpected obstacles your way, and sometimes they'll hit harder than you think you can handle. But resilience isn't built by avoiding the hits. Standing, it's built by getting back up after them. The act of standing up again is a declaration that you're not done yet. And every time you make that declaration, you strengthen your resolve. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, until quitting no longer feels like an option you even entertain. The finish line you've been chasing might be closer than you think. Most people give up within inches of a breakthrough because they can't see it yet standing. They mistake the difficulty of the final stretch for a sign that it's impossible, when in reality, it's just the last test before the reward. Standing. You might be one conversation away, one more try away, one more day of effort away from the result you've been working toward for years. But you'll never know unless you keep going. The path may not be easy, but if you're still moving, you're still in the fight. Standing. Every setback you endure is a lesson in disguise. It's preparing you for the bigger battles ahead, the ones that will demand every ounce of grit you've built along the way. If you quit now, you rob yourself of that preparation. The hard days you survive aren't just obstacles. They're sharpening you, strengthening you, standing and shaping you into the person capable of achieving what you've set out to do. Quitting turns that preparation into wasted potential. Standing. Continuing turns it into the foundation for your eventual victory. The most powerful thing you can do when life tries to knock you down is to get back up without hesitation. Standing. Not because it's easy, not because you feel ready, but because you've decided that you will not be finished until you decide it's over. Standing. There's power in choosing persistence over surrender, in standing your ground when it would be easier to walk away. That choice, repeated enough times, standing, creates an unshakable mindset, one that doesn't break under pressure, one that can weather any storm. In the end, the fight is not about proving anything to anyone else. Standing. It's about proving to yourself that you have the courage to see it through. It's about refusing to hand over your story to fear, doubt, or temporary defeat. Standing. The fight isn't over until you say it's over. And as long as you have breath in your lungs and strength in your spirit, you have another round in you. Standing. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you send a message to yourself and to the world, I'm not done yet. And one day, when you look back, you'll see that this decision to keep going when it would have been easier to quit was the moment that defined everything.